Hello, my name's G. Welcome to a conversation with Desarae Dee, presented by Look Magazine. So Desarae, finally got to meet you.
I know. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a while, yes. I was waiting. I'm interested in this interview because I've never heard of jazz fusion. Obviously, for those who don't know, Desarae Dee is a jazz fusion pianist. So can you just tell us a bit about how you started in music? Like, where'd your initial passion come from?
Okay, so I grew up in a Caribbean household. Both of my parents are from Jamaica. And my dad is the musician in the house.
Okay.
And he actually used to sing with a group back in the 80s called the Soul Searchers.
The Soul Searchers?
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
It was a group of his friends that he went to church with, and they would go to different churches and perform. So that's kind of where the musical lineage comes from.
So you were in the church as a kid, and then through the music, yeah, okay.
Yep.
I see.
And I guess my parents wanted to continue the musical lineage through either myself or my brother, and my brother had no interest, so they looked at me and they said, well, you have some sort of musical talent and we want to pull it out. But I mean, as a kid, I sang in the church choirs and stuff like that. And I guess they noticed that I had a gift for music and they wanted to pull it out of me, so they put me in piano lessons.
So your parents are really supportive. That's cool, because a lot of parents, as soon as they hear the kid wants to do music, they shun it almost. Your parents actually kind of, maybe not pushed you because you always wanted to do it, but kind of just gave you that encouragement to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, but I mean, it was very rough in the first few years because I went through multiple teachers. I guess I had a hard time trying to find the right fit, as most people who take lessons sometimes struggle to find the right teacher. So in the earlier stages, it was battling, finding the right teacher, and then me, I don't care for lessons. Can I do something else? And I wasn't allowed to quit. So I guess when your parents see that you have a gift, they'll do whatever it takes to pull it out of you, no matter how much you don't like it.
Yeah.
Didn't like the way they went about it, but I'm definitely grateful to them.
What do you mean you didn't like the way they went about it?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really given a choice. It's kind of like I had to do it, so I couldn't quit.
So initially, then you didn't want to do it?
No. I mean, I was 6 years old when I started.
Yeah, you just wanted to run around.
So I didn't
with friends.
really have the ability to choose whether I wanted to do it or not.
We're here now, so let's forget about the past. We're here now. You're doing great. Can you just explain for us and the people, what exactly is jazz fusion?
So fusion is when you combine more than one genre together to create something new. Now, the jazz portion is just the style of playing, and then fusing that with genres such as R&B, hip hop, gospel, neo soul.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what are some of your inspirations? Like, I off the top of my head, I don't know too much jazz, but I know like B.B. King. That's all I had.
Right.
What are some of your inspirations?
So because I'm a fusion artist, I have musical influences that kind of spread across a few genres. Because I was classically trained, not Oscar Peterson, but Frédéric Chopin.
Okay.
So he was a classical composer that I studied while I was taking piano lessons, and his chord structures really interest me. Then you have on the, I guess, the R&B / pop side, you have Alicia Keys. So growing up in high school, I used to listen to her music. I would print off all her music off the internet and learn it and play it at school. And for her, it was nice to see a black woman being as successful as she was. And that motivated me. I said, oh, awesome. I want to be able to do that.
I see.
And then Robert Glasper. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
I only knew Alicia Keys. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, so Robert Glasper is a jazz piano player, and he's worked with everybody. Terrace Martin, he's worked with Jill Scott, he's done things with a bunch of different artists. And I actually found out about him in my third year of university. One of my friends introduced me to him, and I spent the summer like studying him and studying his style of playing and his music, and I was just really drawn to him. And then on the jazz side, you have Oscar Peterson. So he's a Canadian legend. So if you're a jazz head, that's somebody you definitely want to listen to. And for him, he had extremely huge hands. So at first sight, when people ask me, oh, what do you do? The first thing that piano doesn't come to mind to them because my hands are super small. So when people would ask me, oh, you play the piano? I said, yeah. and they'd look at my hands. They're like, how?
So that's a thing in that world, like people look at
I
hands.
guess.
Okay.
I didn't realize that, size mattered. But with him, he did a lot of stretching. So if you notice in like some of my videos that I post on social media, I do a lot of stretching. So I can stretch 12 keys in one hand.
12 keys in one hand?
Yeah.
That's that sounds crazy to someone who's not in that world. Wow.
But with somebody who has small hands, you wouldn't expect that.
That's what 12 keys, that's like a long.
Yeah, so it's a lot of technique, a lot of years of practice to be able to do that.
So obviously with COVID and the pandemic, we're going through it again. I know it's tricky for artists. So like, how have you been going through? How have you been dealing with that?
Well, in the beginning of the pandemic, it really forced me to slow all the way down. I am a grindaholic. I go. I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. So the pandemic forced me to kind of slow down and take stock of my entire life and just how I create my music. I would always create longer sort of music, so 4 or 5 minute songs, but then I realized that people have short attention spans.
Yeah, nowadays that's got to be 2 minutes, 1.5.
So my thing was, okay, let's get to the point in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So a lot of the songs that I wrote, I cut down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, was that hard for you? Was it hard to make the transition? Like when did you made the transition this year?
I made the transition last year.
So it's only been a year you've done this, so it's all new to you. Okay.
It's new, but it was just, cutting out an extra verse or cutting out an extra hook.
But then you got to make sure it still balances and makes sense.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right, awesome. So what message do you try to get through in your music? Like what are you trying to tell the people? What do you share?
Well, for me, I want people to listen to my music and be inspired to reignite a past passion, or get started on something that they've never, had a chance to start on. Mm-hmm. Or even inspiring them to look at their lives and be proud of how far they've come. Or how they've triumphed over different situations. It all depends on the song that I put out, but I always want somebody to grab something that motivates them to do something in their life that they probably wouldn't have done, or they want to be excited about things that have gotten them to where they are. So sorry to cut you off. I was going to ask. I have this question. I can't wait to ask. What do you have, like, advice would you give to somebody who's in your field, in your lane of music, and they're just starting out and they got the small hands and they're going through all that in the pandemic? What advice do you have? My advice is to be consistent. Consistency is key. It's helped me out. If you can find something that you're really good at, finding your niche, and something that your audience really likes, and consistently posting. So even on social media, covers are my thing. So I came up with Cover Tuesdays, and every single Tuesday for the last 4.5 years, I posted a cover every single Tuesday.
4.5 years?
4.5 years.
That is so good to hear. You've been consistent. 4.5 years is tough. People start stuff, they just want to quit like after 2 weeks or a month or a year. I've even been there where I've started projects and I've quit after a couple months, a year. So 4.5 years is really inspiring here.
Yeah, but I think that when you know that you have a purpose and you have a destiny and you have a goal that you're trying to reach, you'll do whatever it takes to get there. Yeah. And if that means I have to post a video every single week, I'm gonna do it. So that's my encouragement to people. Find something that you're really good at and consistently post. Consistently share it. Yeah, and you never know what will happen.
You never know. You never know what will work. Like, something's gonna work. It may not be this plan or that plan, but by the 7th, 10th, 50th plan, it might work, right? You're just waiting for something to work. I feel that. So what do you have in store for 2022? What's in store for Desarae Dee, jazz pianist fusion in 2022?
Lots of things. I know a lot of people have been wondering when my next album is coming out, because I haven't released an album in 6 years. Since I released my first project in 2016. So I released a bunch of music this year, so I'm sure people are wondering, where's the album?
Where is it? Are you being Rihanna on us or what? Where is it?
It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming
soon. People.
It's coming. But I'm also gonna be releasing a lot more content. I have a series that I'm kind of working on right now.
Can you give us the name of that series or what it's about?
Well, I have like a rough title. I called it 4TO. So basically what that is I kind of just collaborate with different independent artists or artists that haven't been seen yet. And kind of just, vibing out with them. So it's just an acoustic setting where I play keys and they sing and just really showcasing their talent. Also with Cover Tuesdays, I have another spin-off series coming in January called Cover Tuesdays Quad.
What's that?
So this past year I did Cover Tuesdays Duo. So I had
Oh, okay, so there's 4 songs.
No, a duo. So for the entire year, I collaborated with one person.
Okay,
and we
I see.
posted a cover every single Tuesday for the entire year.
That's
so
dope.
Cover Tuesdays Quad is similar to that, but with 4 people. So
That's
each
really
quarter,
dope.
I'll be collaborating with one person, and we'll do.
And I bet you're gonna smoke those collabs. You look confident. I believe in you. Like honestly, we just met earlier. We talked a bit, and I wasn't sure what jazz pianist fusion was, but then you broke it down. You break it down again, and you know I really, really, really believe in you. You have like that look that you're determined. You know, not all people have that. Especially when you're interviewing people, you talk to them, you can see kind of like they don't really believe their thing.
Yeah.
You believe it. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming with us and being with Look Magazine.
Yes, thank
Desarae Dee, look out for her. All you jazz heads out there. Pianist, even if you're just looking for new music, new vibes. Desarae Dee is your girl.